Good afternoon, guys, and happy Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces. So guys, I've got a Tony's and Caputo's haul to share with you guys for today. Unfortunately, two things at Tony's didn't end up working out, and one of them my dad realized that he should have maybe double checked the size on, even though he said like the tag was like in the spot where like all of them were, and so he didn't really like look to see like if that one was one of the ones that was included or not. But he ended up picking up the wrong size of the cereal. It was too big for the size it was supposed to be, so it wasn't on sale, and then the coupon didn't come off as well. The other deal, which we both are like completely like can't figure out at all, I looked in the ad ahead of time and I saw that they had like the Chobani yogurts, and they had like all of them listed like within like a certain ounce size or whatever, and I could double check that to make sure, but on the picture they show like the regular Chobani, the Chobani Greeks, or the Chobani like zeros, and the Chobani flips. My dad went and picked up all the Chobani flips kind. They rang up at the regular price of $1.79, but the coupon still came off. So if you guys saw last week's haul, something weird happened where the coupon ended up not coming off because my dad didn't have enough of the Gatorade, or the Powerades weren't scanned. So it was like you had to buy 15 in order to get them at the 79 cents. Well, he bought 15 of them, but they ended up not scanning one, so he only like scanned 14 of them. And so he ended up going to customer service and was like, look, they forgot to scan one of these, and then they didn't ring up at the, you know, the sale price of 40 or 79 cents because it looks like I only bought 14. But, you know, again, took them all out and showed him that he had 15 in his cart and bagged and everything like that. So that was able to like get fixed. But the weird thing is with these yogurts is that they came up at not like the sale price. So the coupon was supposed to be for $2 off of 10. So they were supposed to be on sale like 10 for 10, or like $1 each. And you don't have to buy like in multiples to get them at that price. You should just be able to buy one and get them at $1. But again, too, they didn't end up coming up at the sale price, but the coupon still came off. So like I said, I could double check, just make sure that it didn't say like, oh, you know, again, too, like this ounces or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that even too, when I was making the list, I like double checked because I was going to put on there, because my dad likes the flip kind better anyway. I was going to even write in there like, you can get the flip kind, you know, so he wasn't calling me asking me like what variety is available or like that kind of thing. So like I said, I already kind of knew ahead of time that like that was okay. But for some reason they rang up at $1.79 each. So it was $17.90. And then again, too, I did get the $2 off for the coupon, but the sale price didn't come up. So it was like an extra like $5. And the thing was, I was actually just gonna have my dad get them at Caputo's because they were only 88 cents at Caputo's, but then I saw at Tony's they had them on sale, like I said, with the coupon. They were only supposed to be $8 for 10, or 80 cents each. So I was like, that's 8 cents cheaper than, you know, per yogurt than at Caputo's. Granted, we had to buy 10 of them, so that's why I was kind of going back and forth. I was like, do I want to just get like maybe 6 or something like that and not get 10 of them? And then, but I was like, yeah, but it's still like, it's going to be 8 cents per yogurt, so it's going to be cheaper. Well, they end up being way more money than even at Caputo's. Even Jewel this week, I think they had not the Chobani, but a different type of Greek yogurt was on sale for like 4 for $4, so they were $1 each with the sale and the coupon. And again, they would have been $1 each. That still would have ended up being cheaper than these at Tony's ended up coming up as. So my dad actually had to make it over to the pharmacy before they closed, or like closed for like lunch or whatever. So he wasn't able to like go back in and try and figure out like what happened. But he was like, you know, again too, and I even looked on the receipt as well. It doesn't even show up like, oh, well, you have to buy 10 in order to get them at that price. So that would have taken the sale price down, and then the coupon would have come off after that. That didn't even show up on the receipt either, and didn't happen. So like I said, I could double check, but it looks like that for whatever reason the yogurt was just an issue, and the cereal was a slight issue that was more, again too, my dad didn't double check the size. But other than that, everything worked out and all the coupons came off, and we were able to get the specific Saturday and Sunday only sales. We picked up 3 of those items, so I'll share all of that with you guys, but I thought I'd just explain to you guys first sort of what happened and what was going on. And again, unfortunately, sometimes that kind of stuff does happen. The sales don't always work out exactly, which is why I always pay attention to your receipt. My dad did did notice it too, especially because I normally like say like, oh, you know, it'll probably be this price when you go up to the register to pay. And then he was like, okay, that doesn't seem right, but like couldn't really figure out exactly like what was going on. So normally again too, like he would go then to the service desk, but he had to make it over somewhere in time, so he wasn't able to go and like try and figure out what was going on or check it or go back in or anything. So again, unfortunately sometimes that kind of stuff happens, and it stinks when it's like $5. You know, if it was like, oh, $1 didn't come off or something like that, would have been like, you know, not that big of a deal. But that's kind of expensive for whatever reason. They didn't have them ringing up at the right price. Like coupon still came off, but the price was wrong. So like I said, I will share with you guys though the deals that they did have going on and what everything, like kind of the deals that were supposed to be going on as well. So right here, these items on the table were what my dad ended up picking up from Tony's. So he ended up paying after tax, it was $52.36. Did just double check, I even showed my dad. These ones were like on the front of the ad, the flip kinds and everything like that. And it does say, it says that it says like, oh, the $10 or the $8 for 10 price, and then it says on there like when you buy 10, you know, or they're $1 each when you buy 10, like without the coupon, meaning if you don't clip the coupon you're going to get them at $1. Well, that's not even the case. You're not even getting them at $1. So that's why again too, even with the coupon, it didn't make them what the price of what they were supposed to be, because the sale didn't actually come up, if that makes sense. And we did buy 10. I just double checked on the receipt as well. It wasn't like last week where it was accidentally not counted or something like that. So for whatever reason, like if they were supposed to do like an in-store promo, like to take them down, make them, you know, take the 79 cents off of each of them, or if they were just supposed to ring up at that price as the sale price, whatever it was, for again whatever reason, they were 79 cents more expensive each, but the coupon did end up coming off at the end. So they were supposed to be 80 cents, but they were pretty much double that price. So again, that was for whatever reason kind of weird and unfortunate, and we probably aren't going to go back to Tony's before the sale's over. And we had one issue at a different time, and we did call and they were like, yeah, if you come back in with your receipt before the end of the sale, like you can get the price adjusted or whatever, but more than likely we're probably not going to. So it's just kind of like, okay, that was $5 that unfortunately you know, was the difference of what we ended up paying. Which, like I said, kind of stinks, but, or it was more than $5. It was like $7.90 more than I guess what we were supposed to have paid. So like I said, that was unfortunate. But the other deals that ended up working out with the Saturday sale, which were the Saturday and Sunday, they had a couple of like different produce and meat sales. The one thing that I noticed, which was a really good sale, now none of these are with coupons, but they did have, some of them had limits, like these Eckridge, the like sausage, they were only $1.99. They were a limit of 2, so that was a pretty good deal for those. I thought, like I said, that was worth it to go on Saturday and pick those up. The same thing as well with these oranges. They were $1.99 also, and they were a limit of 2. Again, no coupon or anything like that. It was just with the regular sale. And then the corn was on sale for 99 cents for 3, and there was no limit for that. We just picked up 3 of those. It was 99 cents. The other sale, or just the regular sale items for the week, it was a whole, the full week long, was on the Tony's yellow American cheese. It was $4.99 a pound, got just a slight bit under that for $4.92. And then the old Warsaw Polish ham was also on sale for $4.99 a pound, and that cost $5.34 for that. The other deal that we ended up doing, which was just the regular coupon sales for this week, which was on the Scott toilet paper, that was $4.99, and they had a $1 off coupon, so it was just $3.99. And also they had the lentil soups, which were on sale at $5 for 4 with the digital coupons. They were only $1.25 each, which was pretty good. And then the other deal that again too didn't work out because my dad did pick up the wrong size. So the malt oatmeal cereal was supposed to be up to 30 ounces. It was, I think, like something between like 18 something to 30 ounces. Well, this was the larger size one, probably again to, like, it doesn't say on here, but you know how like all of the box cereals a lot of times like family size or large size, or you know, whatever. This might have been considered like the large size, and so it was not included in that. My dad said that was his mistake for not double checking the size, but he said that they were all just kind of like, all the cereals were like in that spot. He kind of assumed that it was anything that was on that shelf in that area where they had like the one big tag, and he didn't double check the size. So again, this was $6.99. It was supposed to be $3.49, and there was a $1 off coupon, so it was $2.49, which again too I think is not too bad. It would have been a little bit smaller size than this, but again, $2.50 for the cereal I thought wasn't that bad of a deal. But unfortunately the coupon didn't come up, and it didn't ring up at the right price because it was the wrong size. That again too, completely, like, I can't figure out what was wrong with the yogurts and why those didn't work out. Like I said, it looks like they just didn't ring up at the sale price, but this was because it was the wrong size that we picked up. But that was everything at Tony's. Like I said, it was supposed to be originally like around $40, but it ended up being like $52, which was a little bit much because, like I said, these would have been like, you know, $8 almost more than what's in addition to that price. So that was everything though from Tony's. Again, most of the stuff worked out, and what deals they did have going on were really good, and again too, had everything worked out, would have worked out really well, but it was just, like I said, unfortunately sometimes that happens. And again, the regular sales that they had too for that Saturday and Sunday sale were pretty good. They didn't have a ton of other like really great meat sales though that I noticed, but it was advertised as like meat and like produce sale that they had, so that was why I wanted to go on Saturday so that we could take advantage of that. Then over at Caputo's, I hadn't even double checked this list or the receipt yet, but it looks like right now from what I'm seeing, everything came up at the right price for these items. It was just a few produce things and a couple of the deli items that we picked up. It was $16.68, and that included the domestic Swiss cheese, which was on sale also for $4.99 a pound. Got a little over a pound, it was $5.09, and then the turkey breast, which was on sale for $5.99 a pound, got a slight bit over that at $6.32. Then they also had on sale the potatoes, which I think will be perfect. We can do potatoes and sausage maybe for one of the dinners this week, but these were on sale for $1.50. They also had the organic romaine like lettuce that was on sale for $1.50 as well. They also had the pink lady apples, which were on sale for 79 cents a pound, and those were, we got about 2.5 pounds for $1.98, which I thought was pretty good, a pretty good deal for the apples as well. But not too much going on over at Caputo's really either, but they did have some good the deli meats, and they did have a couple of produce things as well. And I know my mom had just asked for Swiss cheese recently. It was on the grocery list, but either way, that was really all the deals that they had going on at both of those stores. Like I said, it was probably over $10 extra that was at Tony's that like was the difference in what we ended up paying. But I still think that, like I said, the deals that were, you know, we did end up getting still kind of outweighed the fact that a few things didn't really end up working out. It just does stink when something like that does happen. And like I said, last week it was kind of an easy fix because my dad was able to kind of catch it. He was like, I was supposed to get 15 and now I realized they only rang up at 14 of them instead of the 15. And like I said, he was able to go and fix it pretty quick. But here he was like, oh, well, I didn't know if like that was the sale price or like, you know, the price, and then after the coupon was supposed to come off and stuff like that. So he didn't really understand the deal that was going on with the Chobani, so it also wasn't super obvious or quick to be able to really fix. And like I said, it took me a while after looking at the ad, then looking at the receipt to try and figure out exactly like what was going on and why it wasn't like the right price and that kind of stuff. So anyways, those were the deals that were going on though at those two stores for this week. But I thought I'd just share with you guys those sales and, like I said, the deals we were able to get. Well guys, I'm going to take a shower and get to bed. Actually, I'm gonna edit real quick and then I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed. But I should have my Jewel haul for you guys in tomorrow's vlog, and hopefully everything works out there. Actually, there's not that much to get, and like again, over half of it, I think half of the list that I wrote out was actually produce stuff, and some of the things too they actually had sales on that I ended up not doing that were really good sales still. But like the romaine hearts that I got today at Tony or at Caputo's, they were actually 99 cents at Jewel, but they weren't the organic kind, so we only paid 50 cents more for organic, which I think is pretty good. But they did have a couple sales that were like the same, or the other stores today actually had them cheaper, but Jewel still also had really good prices on a lot of that stuff too. Like there's also the apples that were on sale at Jewel and they were 99 cents, but again they were 79 cents at Caputo's this week also. So that's why they still had some good deals, but just they had them better deals at, you know, again, those other stores. So that is why I do have a haul to share with you guys or should tomorrow from Jewel. And again, a lot of that stuff will be, you know, like I could have gotten even more produce honestly tomorrow at Jewel, but I scaled back a little bit. But we got more stuff at, you know, Tony's and Caputo's today. So anyways, like I said, I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.